I've been wanting to talk about genre for a little while because it's going to be very difficult for you to understand my reasons for the music that I end up talking about on this channel. So I'm going to talk a little bit about genre. I work at a part-time job where basically part of my job is to ask people what kind of music they like. And a lot of people will always, almost always, I guarantee you, the first thing they'll say is, anything's fine. I like all kinds of music. I'm sure I'll love it. It's great. Put anything on. And I'll be like, are you sure? Would you like to specify any particular artist or decade? Something. And sure enough, when you put your typical pop music on, they'll be like, oh, actually, can you play Eric Clapton? Can you play Coldplay? Can you play, Eminem? Just literally everybody has a particular taste in music, and when people say anything, they don't always mean actual anything, which is super annoying. I believe that I'm one of the people who legitimately can say anything you put on, that will be fine. Genre is not something that encompasses an entire section of music. People like to give everything labels, but they don't actually do anything. All you end up doing is creating a subsection for another subsection of labels to come under, which, doesn't make any sense. I just have difficulty accepting the concept. For example, what genre is Taylor Swift's music? A lot of people would say she's just a pop musician, but she's someone who used to do, like, country pop or whatever it was. So it's always really, really difficult, and also to a certain extent limiting, to say that somebody is a particular genre or plays a specific genre of music. It's unbelievably restricting. One really, really good example, I think, is of 21 Pilots. They do all sorts of genres of music on their album, yet it's all in their kind of particular style, which I think is really great. Let's see what genre 21 Pilots come under when you look it up on the internet, because the internet is all knowing, right? Even the internet doesn't really know. Well, to be more accurate, it gives me 4 specific genres. One of them is alternative hip-hop, indie pop, electropop, and rock music. Would any of those be accurate to you? I mean, I guess the alternative hip-hop one, because it's hip-hop, but it's not hip-hop? Why isn't it hip-hop? Why isn't it just regular hip-hop? Why is it alternative? What is it that makes it alternative? I get the indie pop thing. Kind of. I mean, they were indie. Now they're popular. They're pop. See, it just doesn't really quite categorize them properly. And that's part of the reason I just don't think genre is a good idea as like a thing. People should be able to articulate what kind of music it is. The first way to articulate what kind of music you like would be to explain the kind of instrumentation that is involved in the track. A lot of pop music, for example, uses synthesizers, heavy bass, that sort of thing. The second category to kind of help articulate what kind of music you enjoy would be the type of vocals that are used on the track, which would indicate whether it is rap or singing in a pop style, opera, if there's no singing at all, theater style. There's that alone, I feel, articulates what kind of music people like. Genre, I feel, is the least accurate way to tell someone what kind of music you like. Let's pick something like rock, for example. Under that umbrella term is all sorts of music. Like an unbelievable amount. Best example that I can think of would, to show the diversity of rock music, is to look at a game like Rock Band, for example. We've got everything on this list from OK Go to Nirvana to Foo Fighters, Beastie Boys, Weezer, Nine Inch Nails, The Killers, Metallica, These are all superbly different bands. And even here, they've got, a little subsection for genre. There's apparently regular rock music. There's
glam punk, pop rock, alternative punk, emo, classic rock, metal, progressive. I mean, these are all types of rock music, and I think it's just ridiculous.
I mean, I understand the need for one simple word to kind of encompass what it is you might like, but it is just not accurate. It isn't. Rock music to me would be something that consists of the same formula that I said earlier. So, using the instrumentation and vocal description technique, I would say that rock music consists of 4 main things: a drummer, guitarist, bassist, and a vocalist. And then under that, you then specify by using the vocals as a trigger to what kind of rock music it is. They've got a section here that says Southern rock. So it's exactly the same kind of rock as everything else, except it's from the South. I mean, that's just a specific place. They don't actually say anything in Southern rock as a description for that genre, how the instrumentation changes, or if the vocals change. So, I mean, when you picture Southern rock, you can tell that maybe it probably involves a banjo or a mandolin, something like that, that's a little bit more traditional and more commonly played in the South, I'm guessing here of the United States. So, you see what I mean? Genre is just not good enough at trying to tell me what it is exactly that you like to listen to. It's unbelievably broad. But it can also go the other way. Back in the day when I was studying music and sound technology at university, we did talk a little bit about genre because we kind of went through pop music as a genre and saw how it changed over the years. And pop music isn't so much a genre of its own, it's literally just pop, what is popular at that moment in time. Because at one point, jazz was popular, trance music was popular for a little while. Remember dubstep? That was popular. Or it would have been considered popular music, or elements of it were adopted into pop music. The one thing that we did talk about as well, which I feel is probably important to mention, is that world music is still a genre, which doesn't really make that much sense if you think about it. So, by saying world music, we assume a couple things. That basically pop music, or to be specific, American and British, usually pop music, is separate from the rest of the world, which again doesn't really make that much sense. So, under world music from the musicgenrelist.com website, it says that world music is, well, this list here, which is kind of ridiculous. I mean, Africa is not a genre of music. France is not a genre of music. Basically, countries, continents are not genres of music. Africa currently consists of 54 different countries. Okay? So, I mean, isn't it unbelievably inconsiderate? Don't you think the world's second largest continent, consisting of 54 different countries, having 1/7, that's 1.02 billion people, that is as big as 11.7 million miles. Do you think they genuinely all listen to the same music? Come on! I mean, obviously I don't know who popularized world music as a genre, but it's just not a thing. Anyway, that's a little bit of a rant about genre and what I think about it. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and if you agree or disagree. Subscribe for more of this kind of thing. I do anime videos and I do videos about music. So, yeah. Bye! African music. Like, what is that? What is that? Can someone explain to me?